Support provided by Walters, Papillon, Thomas Cullins, LLC, specializing in business litigation and personal injury cases for over 40 years.
Before I begin, we know any and all of our success is based on someone else, and we all stand on the shoulders of giants. And Richard introduced my wonderful mom and dad, whose shoulders I stand on. And just a note to all you Baton Rougeans, I'm fourth generation. My great-grandfather, who I knew very little as a young man, was the first principal, Richard, at Central High School in Baton Rouge, and had a successful business in North Baton Rouge. And I'm very proud of that fact. But also my wife of 27 years, who's been there as a partner and a true love in my life, and who's been very special to me. And I just wanted to really point them out, because they've been so instrumental in everything that I've ever done and everything that I have succeeded in. And to all of you who've been part of it, whether it's classmates, Steve Bruiser-Williams and Eddie Facundus, fraternity brothers, I see Tommy Bell, and just wonderful people that have been all part of success, and it's all part of that. But let me talk to you today. That's enough about me, and I hate this piece of it, because it's not about me. It's about this wonderful community, and it's about this wonderful place called LSU. And I tell this, and I'm very cautious in that, but I have a love affair with someone else other than my wife. And she's only been part of half of my life. I'm 56. We've been married 27 years, almost half. But LSU's been part of my life since I was a child. Whether it was Professor Patsy in our neighborhood and my dad taking me to the LSU lakes as a kid to catch trout and catfish, and we used to do that, if you remember the days of that. And it began with going and rolling down the Indian mounds at LSU, and it began with going to football games. And for me, as you all know, selling peanuts in Tiger Stadium. And all these little things that have to do with what and how this important enterprise ties us together and what it does. And it begins that young. And I fast forward a little bit, and you go to the transformative education I received at LSU. Professor Mulcahy, Professor Eubanks didn't treat me like another student being in a big, large auditorium. They took personal interest in me as a student and cared about what I did and how I did it and how I viewed the world, viewed the community, and gave back. And it was always giving, giving, giving. And so this wonderful love affair that I've had with this institution continued, and I was blessed, as Richard told you, to come back as an employee of LSU and advocate on behalf of LSU. And what a job it was. I mean, just a love affair. I was lucky to have two boys at lab school at the time that I could see a lot of, and then go do something passionately that you care about, and that's advocate on behalf of LSU. And I'll contend that these were good years for LSU, Skip, halcyon years, as we say. And we can get them again, and we're at a high level. That's not to say that we're failing or that we're declining. It has nothing to do with that, but it's very hard to get to the top. And so in the athletic world, I always remind people, giants. And in our business, Virg and I talk about this all the time. Probably in this half a century, there have been three giants in the three major sports in the NCAA. Baseball, football, and basketball, men's basketball. Skip Bertman, Nick Saban, and Mike Krzyzewski. And two of them were on our campuses in the early 2000s. You forget that. Giants. But that's because of LSU. And that's what attracts them here. And I know there's a guy in Alabama who has regrets that he's not here today, and shame on him. But we have one with a higher IQ that's here today, so thank you. But that's what I want really to talk to you about is and I'm going to talk to you about the athletic department. But first, I want to talk to you about the enterprise and how important LSU is to its state. All of you, I guarantee you, the vast majority of you are leaders in everything you do, whether it's medicine, whether it's law, whether it's engineering, whether it's merchants, whether it's whatever you do as professional. You have that connection to LSU. It trained you. It did it. And there's no more institution that's important to its state than LSU is to Louisiana. Texas, where I came from, has A&M. It has Texas Tech. It has University of Texas. You know, it's spread out, Rice, and these are big communities. Every city in this state is affected by LSU. All the professionals or all the people and all the leaders in every little small community, whether it be Lake Providence or whether it be Cameron, whether it be Oil City or whether it be Venice, have leaders that are from and are because of LSU. And that thing is very precious. And this is my call to order to you is, and call to kind of service is, give back. It's precious. It's special. It's something that will affect you forever and has affected you. And there are numerous people in here that have done it. And I just beg you and plead with you. For a guy that's been away from here for 15 years, it's special. And it's damn special. And I'm so glad to be a part of that. That's the serious part, and that's what I really wanted to really drive upon and tell you today. Let me tell you about the athletic department. It isn't broken. It's had great success, and we've done really good things. Coach Burtman and his administration left this department in very good stead. It's among the best in the country. Everyone looks at it. It's a elite, top 5 program, whether you look at finances, whether you look at championships, whether you look at anything, objective, subjective, it doesn't matter. There's not a person in America that doesn't think this is one of the most elite athletic departments. But like everything, it needs a little shining, and it needs a little oomph, and it's brutal at the top. And we have to win championships and continue to win them and win more. And I'm here to tell you, after about 3.5 months of being here, we have very good coaches and very good people. I mentioned Verge Osbury today, who's my deputy, along with Stephanie Remp, who followed me not only from Washington to Texas A&M, but also to LSU. She's here as our COO and deputy. And Brandy Douglas, a lifelong Aggie who I convinced to come to Baton Rouge, and she has definitely swallowed the pill, and she sees the world through purple glasses now. But I mention that because it is about the people, and it's about what attracts people here. And my belief and my strength is to be collaborative. You can't be an autocratic leader, especially at a public institution, and especially when you're managing guys that make 5, 6x more than you do. You just don't do it. You collaborate. So some of you have heard me use this term before, and I'm sincere about it. It's a metaphor. I view myself more like an executive producer of a film. I manage talent. I manage budgets. I manage people. You need to make sure that everything's done right, on time, on budget, and you let the stars shine. And our stars are these wonderful student athletes we have and our coaches. And at the end of the day, if you don't know who I am, that's all the better. Linda, it's like being an editor or publisher of a newspaper. You know, you don't want to know who they are. You're proud of what you do, and you're proud of your reporters, but it's what and how we do things, and that's how I like to do it, and that's how I like going about doing it. So that's kind of my management style and my leadership and the way I view it. What I also want to tell you, too, is that it's another charge. You as employers hire our student athletes. I can tell you there's no better trained kid in the world than a student athlete. Their time management skills are off the chart for what they have to do for their education and what they have to do for their sport and what they have to do for their community giving is unprecedented. And also their work ethic. They're second to none. They get up at the crack of dawn and they go to bed at past dark. And it's something that I encourage you that if you're not involved with, and a lot of you are, to please get involved with, because they're wonderful stewards of our community and they're wonderful, wonderful representatives of what we do and how we do it. That being said, we're going to have a hell of a season, and I know Coach O talked to you guys, and he was very probably cautious, but very positive. And I'm going to be a little riskier. We're a good team. We have a very nice core of returning starters, the highest of any team in the league, which is a good sign that you're going to have success. I'm not saying we're going to win every game, but we should be competitive as hell, and we should be there at the end. And, you know, it's going to be based on three things, and I can say this. Number one is luck, and you're in the midst of the luckiest human being on the planet Earth, and Skip Bertman. Second is that we stay injury-free, and the third is that we get a couple bounces, and whether it's calls or whether it's whatever that happens, but we're going to have a fun, good year. And that's the whole key to it. And again, for all you people that I know, which is a lot of them, and for all your familiar faces, thank you, and thank you for making me and my family feel welcome. And you know, it gives me chills every time I say it, and it comes from the bottom of the heart. Go Tigers.
Scott's agreed to take a few questions, so if anyone has questions. Oh, Stephanie back in back. Why don't you step up here?
Sure.
Just try to help.
Thank you. So, Scott, you said last month, and it got a lot of attention, that you didn't think the athletic department should kick funds over to the university for academics anymore because it wasn't a good business model. Just wondering in the weeks since then if you've had second thoughts or if you further refined those thoughts and maybe give us a little more insight into what you meant, because obviously academics are starved and people are willing to give for athletics, but not for the other.
Yeah, great point. No, I have no regrets. And actually, you know, as I mentioned, my beginning in higher education was advocating on behalf of LSU, and it is a poor business model. I've been at two great AAU institutions previously, and they definitely don't do that. They go the opposite way. They actually subsidize a little bit when they can. But the point is that we are going to continue to support the academic side of the institution in a great way. To this year, we're going to do it, Skip, to the tune of $11 million. And it's not going away. We're not going to objectively just sit here and cut and do what we do to the university, because this place was eviscerated. I watched it from afar. It was criminal what happened here in years past, and what they did to our beloved institution. And the athletic department, through Skip and through Joe Oliva, did the right thing. They subsidized and they helped subsidize a place that was in a panic. But things are going better and going well. And what you can't do is you can't, you know, to use a metaphor, you can't choke the goose laying the golden egg on the athletic side. And it's compounding to the point to where it's a problem. The department's given over $70 million to the university in the past decade, and it cannot sustain and it cannot compete with teams in Tuscaloosa, Gainesville, Knoxville, you name it, and it's not a sustainable model. And so what I ask is for everyone to really pitch in and advocate, you know, tell legislators, tell people in the community that, you can't starve this thing, but you also can't exploit our student athletes to fund the general fund of the institution. But we are, and hear me loudly and clearly, going to be an important part of funding LSU and helping with LSU, whether it's Richard's great effort to redo the Memorial Tower, which the TAF gladly chipped in and took part in, or whether it's any buildings that we redo, or whether it's anything we can do. We're going to strategically look at doing one-time funding that doesn't have recurring money, and I think that's the most responsible thing that we as a partner of the university and the department can do.
I got a question for you.
While they're coming, just to follow up, would that be for this year? I mean, beginning this year or beginning next year?
Oh, no, the university's getting the full $11 million from the department this year.
So my question was relating to the business model. That's a term you used. Is there anything that we're going to see continue to change organizationally within the athletic department or your administration from the top down?
I think it's pretty well set. We'll make changes here and there, and it's an evolving thing. It's not written in stone. I like to manage with folks that have our same vision and have our same view in what we want to do and how we want to do it. And I'm very lucky, like I said, to have really smart people, smarter than me, running it. Verge and Stephanie and Brandy are here today, and we can talk about Miriam Segar and Shelley Mullinex and Bo Bonson and all the good people and names that I know, Mark Ewing, that have done just a tremendous job running this institution and running this department. So you'll see pretty much what you got. Yes, sir.
I know at the risk of heresy in the middle of football season, would you comment on what you think about our basketball program?
Yeah. As far as the program goes, it's obviously on a very up cycle, very good year last year. I'm learning about it because I've obviously been immersed in football, but watching it afar, it's something that's been very impressive. Good recruiting, good kids, good program, doing the things right at a high level. And, there's been stuff obviously in the press that are obviously concerning, but I think we'll see, when the truth comes out what happens, and we'll worry about it then. But from what I can see and from what I've seen, I really like the way Coach Wade is mentoring our kids and working our team and representing the university.
Hiring a new coach?
Yeah, that's a great point. It's what we do. I mean, you hit it right at it. Is getting talented people, and we have these conversations daily to prepare for it, whether it's a retirement or whether it's a change that needs to be taken, that we get and we're prepared to do that. We're pivoting a little bit. For you that don't know, Richard Lipsey is the not only the past president of the TAF, but he's the founder of it, and that's what the TAF does. And we're going to not quit, but pivot a little bit from doing bricks and mortars and try to invest in human capital, because that's the name of the game. How good your talent is, how good your coaches are, how good your support staff is. And it's a very, very competitive world, especially in the Power Five, of people always trying to steal your coaches, steal your talent, and we have to be ready to do that. But I'm very thorough about it. I think about it strategically. I think about it long term. And if you want to talk about it, ask Verge and Stephanie. I drive them nuts. Our lists are exhaustive and they're long, and we talk about it all the time. And frankly, I talk to all the head coaches about it, whether it's their staff or whether it's their support, and how we can do and how we can help to retain and keep the best. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, I just wondered if you could comment about the little-known recent success of the fledgling beach volleyball team.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so crazy, and Nanette's going to kick me and chuckle about it. In this new class of 2020, my contractor in College Station's daughter is now an LSU beach volleyball player. So And just so you can chuckle, this is the house we built that we never stepped foot in. So, but anyway, it's an incredible program. National talent, a great coach with great leadership, and a fun sport to watch. And I just see continued success. And ironically, this business is so, it's as bad as Baton Rouge as far as degrees of separation. He trained and played under a national championship coach that Stephanie and I worked with at University of Washington, Jim McLaughlin, and he has the same skill set and approaches the same things very methodically and very in a very organized fashion. And he's a top-notch coach, and I see him winning national championships here. Yes, third this year. It's correct.
If you fast forward to a year from now and you come and talk to us, what one accomplishment would you want to share and say, we got that done within a year?
Yeah, I have to tell you two. And it's kind of the three-legged stool that I believe in as a athletic director. First is give our kids a world-class education. So the answer to that is make sure our graduation rate's up and our retention rates are up. Secondly is that we've had great performances on the field of play and what we've done, and that we've done better than last year, and that we're trending in the right direction. And then the third thing is, it's very simple to me. It's kind of like oxygen. You take it for granted. And that's to ask our kids and our coaches to represent well and do the right thing. And so I hope we do those three things to the best of our ability. We're human beings. We're going to fail. But, we're here, and we're at a special place that has special resources, and we can do incredible things here. And we're going to demand that of them. And I'm going to demand that of myself. And so that's not just one, but really three. Mary Beth.
Dee Dee Bro has obviously had huge success. Do you want to comment on women's gymnastics?
Yeah, here again, Dee Dee's had a tremendous career here, and to her credit, just like what I talked about, you always have a team effort, and you always hire people smarter and better than you, and I think she sees that in her co-head coach in Jay. And I think they're knocking at the door of the national championship, and I think it's forthcoming. And that's always tell Dee Dee, and I always tease her. Dee Dee worries about things, Skip. Like mulch in the parking lot and what we're doing. I said, Dee Dee, worry about winning a national championship. But now I say that belovedly to Dee Dee. But I think here again we're recruiting well. It's a top program, and we're knocking at the door of national championship, and that's where you want to be.
One more back up here.
On a lighter note, the first beer in the grandstand is going to be served this weekend. But it's a big business deal. So what is really the projection in the grandstand area for beer sales and net revenue?
I wish I were that smart. We don't know. And here again, for you fans that are coming to the games, I plead with you, be patient. Especially in the lower bowl where our concession stands and our concourses are really tight, there are going to be lines, and there are going to be mistakes, and there are going to be a lot of things that we're going to be doing for the first time. There's going to be a serious regulation on make sure that there's no underage drinking, and there's going to be a lot of oversight. So I just plead with you to be patient. And it's going to be fun. It's a fan amenity we're happy to offer, and we're looking forward to. And finally, I want to again thank my good friend Richard Lipsey and Susan Lipsey and Mark and Laurie Aronson for this wonderful, beautiful seersucker suit. In the spirit of giving, which the Lipsey family always does, this is a special suit that's going to be offered by the Alumni Association. It's a purple and gold suit, and it's going to benefit the Alumni Association. And Richard, Susan, Mark, Laurie, thank you for what you do for LSU, and this suit is a symbol of that. Thank you.
provided by Walters, Papillon, Thomas Cullens, LLC, specializing in business litigation and personal injury cases for over 40 years.